Hey Noville fans, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Dad Before He's Dead. Today we're going to make a specialty of mine that the kids enjoy, and that is pork fried rice. Now, I'm not a Asian food cooking dude by any means. I mean, don't let my face fool you. I don't really eat that much Asian food besides a few things here and there. But this is one of the things, I guess if you want to call it an Asian-esque meal that I do fix. The kids like it. But it's going to involve not too many ingredients. We got some onions that I've already chopped up because I just felt like going ahead and chopping it up, put it in the bag. I will have to chop up the green onions. I will have to chop up some bacon and also the pork tenderloins. Bacon wise, I'll probably use about maybe 5 or 6 strips of bacon. I'll take that and I'll chop that up. That'll be the first thing I'm going to cook because I need to render the grease out of it because the bacon grease is what's going to be used. And also, there'll be mushrooms in there. Kids like it with the mushrooms. But that's pretty much a simple ingredient. Got some eggs, bacon, the pork, onions, mushrooms, soy sauce. It's the rice. It's in the rice cooker sitting. This is about as simple as it gets when it comes to pork fried rice. So stick around and watch me how I make it. I had the green onions, chopped them pretty good. All you need is just a bunch of them. There's nothing special about that. Like I said, I already had the regular onions chopped. We're talking about a medium-sized onion. Just chop it like you would anything else. Also, for the bacon, I just got that. It's probably like maybe 6 or 7 pieces of bacon. And I did a rough chop on that one because we're going to add that to the end once it's finally cooked. And then also with the pork tenderloins, like I said, get the 2-pack if you're able to get those. If not, get 2 separate ones, whatever, I don't care. We're talking about a total of, 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds with the pork tenderloins. So 1 bunch of green onions, 5 or 6 strips of bacon cut up, and about 2.5 pounds of that. Then we also got 4 eggs that I've already beaten up because we're going to scramble those. Already got my 2 things of mushrooms ready to go. And soy sauce, I would say 1/4 cup to 1/3 cup, I guess. I'll let you know when I start shaking that joker in there and let you know how much it goes down. It's all by sight and by what it takes. The rice itself, the only way I can tell you about the rice is I would say you want to cook about 2.5 cups of rice for this recipe. I have a little dispenser thing, and each time I hit the dispenser thing down, it may give me 2/3 cup of rice. I did that 4 times. So we're talking about probably 2 2/3 cup of rice. If it's 2.5, it's 2.5. Whatever amount 2.5 cups of rice cooks, I don't know. You're talking about 5 cups of rice, 6 cups of rice. So now what we want to do is we want to get our wok hot, and it's hot, and I want to add my bacon in. So let's get the bacon cooked. So all you want to do here is you want to cook your bacon and render out that fat because we're going to need that fat to cook the rest of what we got going on here. So be sure you get you a nice fatty bacon. So we'll let the bacon render down and we'll get back to the next step. Cooking bacon, smelling good. Man, I don't know about you guys who don't eat bacon, but y'all missing out. I'm just telling you. The bacon's rendering down now, so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and start getting this out of here. And remember, get your slotted spoon because you want to save that oil or that grease to cook the rest of your stuff with. So scoop your stuff out on a clean plate and let's save the oil. Right now at this time, what we want to do is we want to add in a tablespoon of our grease back in there. Shoot, make it 2 tablespoons. Whatever floats your boat. Once you got your grease back in there, we're going to work on the eggs now. So get your 4 eggs that's already been whipped up. Toss it in there. And let's get those jokers cooked. So all you're doing is just making scrambled eggs. Because who doesn't like fried rice without some egg in it? Eggs are scrambled. Let's get them out. Add them right to the bacon because they're all going back in at the same time, so it don't matter. Now let's add another nice couple spoonfuls of grease back in there. Let's get our meat cooked up. So now we're going to take our pork tenderloin, whatever pork meat you want to use, and we're going to cook that up. Ooh, I just made a mess. So we got our pork cooked now. Let's go ahead and transfer that out of the wok. Now, I don't know where you guys get your meat from, but if you get it from one of them places where they like to inject solution into your meat to make it weigh more, and don't tell me that you don't know that stores do that. They do. But what happens is that you have all this residual liquid that comes out of it. So what I'm going to do is get the meat out of this liquid, dump the liquid because I don't need it, and from there we're going to get on with frying the veggies. So let's get this out. Got the meat out, got the water out. Now what we're going to do is cook our onions and mushrooms. So let's go ahead and add another tablespoon and some change of bacon grease back to it. Now let's go ahead and add our white onions in there. And if you get some of the green in there, it don't matter. They're all going to be in the same dish. So, I know some of you people with OCD are like, oh, they can't touch and stuff like that. Guess what? I don't have OCD. I don't care. It can all mix together just fine. Got the onions going for just a couple of minutes. Now we add the mushrooms. Got the mushrooms added with the onions. We're going to pretty much stir fry this a bit until we get a little bit of moisture drawn out of those mushrooms and it gets a little bit kind of crispy looking. You don't really want to cook them over, too much, but you do want to cook all that moisture out of the mushrooms for sure. So leave them in here. I don't know, stir them around for about 4 or 5 minutes until that happens. So most of the moisture is now started to evaporate out of here, and you start to hear a different sound. Now you start hearing those mushrooms crackling. That's when you know it's almost time to start putting everything together. So the onions, they already got nice and translucent. The mushrooms got most of the moisture out of them. Crackling now versus just boiling in their steam or whatever water that they had in them. Now what we're going to do at this point is let's go ahead and add our meat back to the pile. Give that a good stir once you got that added back. Let that kind of get together for about a minute or two. So now at this point, you want to add the rice in here, alright? So get whatever amount of rice you got, your big old pot. Fish, you take it and break it up. If you're using day-old rice, that's fine with me. This was cooked about maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours ago. So it's not day old, but it's still a little bit warm. Yet it's cold enough where we can be able to break it up, and it's going to be just fine. And so that's all of our rice in there, because we're about to have a mess. Now that now that the rice is added, let's go ahead and try to give it a good stir without getting too crazy here. But by the time this is done, I'm going to have pork fried rice all over this counter. But let's just give it stirred up, mash up the rice as we see it. This is going to take some time, but we're going to sit here and do this, break up the rice. Try to get all of that incorporated together. Kind of wish I had a bigger wok, but it's okay. It'll work. So at this point, you know what? I like to use all of that bacon grease. Just add that thing back in there. It's just going to make it taste more better. Just put it back in there. Ain't going to hurt nothing. So I'm going to try to break up as much of that rice as I possibly can. And we're fixing to attack this now with the soy sauce. Like I said before, I'm guessing about, I don't know, 1/4 cup to 1/3. Let's just find out and see. So we're talking about, yeah, that's about maybe 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup. And all we want to do now is just get it all turned up and get it smashed in there. Let that soy sauce get absorbed into the rice and everything that's in there. Just for the fun of it, a few more shakes. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. That's it. I don't know. We're talking about maybe half of a cup. Half a cup of soy sauce. And that's just estimating. So now we're at that point to where this has been kind of going for about a minute or so with the soy sauce added to it. Now we want to add everything back what we already had. The bacon, the eggs. Let's go ahead and add all that stuff back in there. And this is also the time for you to add your green onions. So your green onions you had chopped up, put them in there at the very end. Because that just makes it nice and vibrant, makes it pretty. And you still get a little bit of that oniony flavor to them. And now, let's just take the time to get this all mixed in one more time. Now tell me that does not look delicious. Grilled pork fried rice. What's for dinner? Alright, there it is. Pork fried rice. And I put it back into the rice cooker pot so I can put it in the rice cooker to stay warm. And we can have it whenever we want. But here it is. And that is piping hot. I'm not going to burn myself. I'm going to try not to. Have a taste of it. I'm telling you right now, I don't know how authentic this recipe is. I don't care. That's how I make it, and it's good. Very good. So give this recipe a try if you like pork fried rice. I'm sure you can make different variations of it. There's thousands of ways to make pork fried rice. This is just my way and how I do it. That's my pork fried rice. This is another episode of Cooking with Dad Before He's Dead. Catch you guys on the next one. Toodles.